What's up, everyone? We're back with a really fun card this week. This is your host, Mitchell, from Notorious Radio 718, and you're back with us on Fight Pass with Mitch. So this Saturday, August 13, UFC Fight Night, we have Marlon Vera versus Dominick Cruz. And this fight is going to be really exciting. First of all, you almost know Marlon Vera. He beat Sean O'Malley, and he's the 5th ranked bantamweight in the UFC. He's going against Hall of Fame legend, former Bantamweight Champion, former WEC Champion, Dominick the Dominator Cruz, and he's ranked number 8. What I really love about this match is these are two veterans, and one of them is a Hall of Famer, without a doubt. So Marlon Vera, he's 19-7, and he's on a 3-fight winning streak. His last win was against Rob Font. He beat Frankie Edgar. He beat Davy Grant. And he is coming very sharp. And as you all know, he also beat Sean O'Malley. We have Cruz, which his last loss was to Henry Cejudo, where he got kneed really badly, got hurt, and lost that fight, which was in 2020. Since then, he's picked up 2 wins, one against Casey Kenny, the other one against Pedro Munez. And I think this is a really nice match for the both of them. Both of them have a lot to win against this matchup because the division is a little bit on pause. We have Merab Dishishvili fighting August 20th against Aldo. And that potentially sets up the next fight for the Bantamweight title. So definitely tune into that. And then this fight is going to be one chess piece closer to see who the winner of these two is about 2 to 3 fights away from a title shot if they continue their winning streak. So this is why this is super important. We're going to have to go with Marlon Vera on this. Cruz is a plus 190 underdog, and Vera is a minus 225 favorite. And Notorious is picking minus 225 with Cheeto. He is very aggressive. His kickboxing is very violent, and I think he is going to be the aggressor. Everybody knows that Dominick Cruz has phenomenal footwork, but I do believe that age is a factor, and the competition that Cruz has faced in his upcoming match to Vera doesn't compare. I believe that Vera beat Rob Font, who I am a tremendous fan of, and I believe he is one of the best boxers in the bantamweight division, and he was able to go toe-to-toe with him. I have no doubt that this is the safest choice for Saturday night, August 13th. For the next matchup, we have a very key featherweight match. It's Nate Landwehr, the Train, 15-4, versus David Onama. David Onama is a really nice contender. He's coming off 2 wins, one against Garment and one against Benitez, and he's a minus 275 favorite versus against Nate. Nate is coming off a win, a loss, and a win, and he beat Darren Elkins in those combination, and he's a plus 230 underdog. I feel like this is a big setup for Nate just to lose, because I'm really heavy on Onama winning this match. I think it's really fun. This fight was scheduled prior. It was not able to come to fruition, but the UFC gave him the co-main event slot. So you guys understand, the UFC does not give out slots like this unless they believe the fighters will come and perform their jobs that night. So the matchmakers are really fixed in by giving these 2 featherweights the co-main event slot, which I believe is really important. So I really, guys, want you to look out. This fight is going to go for the finish. Really fun matchup. The next match is we have some UFC debuts. And these girls, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on them. They're their UFC debuts, but they have a lot of experience, and both of these girls are really big finishers. The first lady I'm going to introduce is Yasmin Jauregui. She's from Mexico. She's 8-0, coming from other regional promotions. She's a huge finisher, a lot of knockouts, a lot of TKOs. Her opponent, a Brazilian, Jasmine Lucinato, 13-4, but don't look at the 4. She's on a 7-fight win streak, and she is also a big finisher. A lot of KOs, a lot of stoppages, outside, of course, the UFC. But for this match, Notorious Radio is going to go with Yasmin. She's undefeated. She's coming in on a hot streak, and she's the favorite at -245. And that's who we're choosing tonight. UFC debuts are really fun, so you guys always have to tune in. As you saw last week, Muhammad Usman versus the Ripper. Usman with the big knockout. It was amazing. People, when they come to do their UFC debuts, it is bomb. I am telling you, these girls are not going to play. This is a strawweight bout. It's a UFC debut. You don't want to miss this. For our next matchup, we have a really, and this, to me, this is Notorious's key fight of the night. This is the fight I am truly the most excited for. We have Devin the Brown Bear Clark, 13-6, going against Azmat, the professional Murzakanov. He is 11-0, Murzakanov. He won on Dana White's Contender Series. He landed the contract. On his UFC debut, he delivered against Enchuki. So now, on his third fight, he's getting a very savvy UFC veteran. Obviously, Devin Clark, his last 3 fights, he lost to Anthony Smith. Then he lost to Ian Kudalaba. But he had a great match against William Knight. And this is why the matchmaker set up the professional versus the Brown Bear. He is really resilient. He comes out of the same gym, Wink MMA, where John Jones trained out of, with Jackson Wink and John Winkle. They're awesome coaches. It's a great camp down in Arizona, and I believe he will come prepared. He is the underdog at +135, and I am going to take him for the upset versus the professional. I do believe that Devin Clark has the wrestling and has the power to upset Azmat. This will be a key matchup for me. I'm really excited. I don't think this is going to go 3 rounds. I do think this is going to end with a submission or a knockout. So you really must tune in. This is Notorious's key. This is going to be, someone's getting a bonus out of these 2. So really keep your eye out. And this is going to be a fun matchup. For the next one is a rescheduled bout from last week. We were supposed to see the prettiest girl in MMA fight. Unfortunately, her bout got rescheduled. And yes, I am talking about Ariana Lipski, the Queen of Violence, and she's going against Priscilla Cachoeira, Zombie Girl. As you both know, Zombie Girl won, lost 1, her last 3. She's 11-4. And the Queen of Violence won her last fight, following by 2 losses. But one of the losses was to Valentina Shevchenko's sister, Antonina Pantera. So let's scratch that one. That's a really tough opponent, and she got taken out. What else can I say? I think these girls are going to deliver. This is a great bantamweight match, but we are going to take the favorite in Zombie Girl at +154. As madly and as beautiful as the Queen of Violence is, I don't think she has enough to take out Zombie Girl. Zombie Girl, Priscilla Cachoeira, is probably going to get her hand raised, definitely going to get her hand raised, and the Queen of Violence is going to take another loss. But it's going to be really exciting. They're both going to come to fight, but I just don't think she has enough. I think the Zombie Girl is just going to overpower her, bring her down to the ground, and make do with her. And our last and absolute most interesting fight of the night is the opening of the main card. You have Bruno Silva, Blindado. He's 22-7, and he's going against a crazy UFC veteran named Gerald Meerschaert, GM3. So Blindado's 22-7. Meerschaert's 34-15. Before we get started, a lot of you guys may even know who Meerschaert is because Khamzat Chimaev knocked him out in 1 punch in the first minute. So if that brings back any memories, just poof, there you go. That knockout, he got obliterated. But speaking of that, in his last 4, He had 3 wins. In his last fight, he lost to Jocko. But the key thing, the 3 fights that he won were all by submission. Now let's go to Silva. His last fight, he lost. He lost to Alex Pereira, who, as you know, is going to fight Israel Adesanya in Madison Square Garden for the middleweight UFC championship belt. And his 3 wins prior were all by TKO and KO. So these 2 guys, there's only one way it's going to finish. Either Meerschaert is going to submit him, or Silva's going to do exactly what he does and he's going to knock him out. My heart is Gerald is such a slow starter, and from what I've been watching from Silva, and he actually took Alex Pereira, a kickboxing champion, to really deep waters. I think he's going to obliterate Meerschaert. I would put my money on him for a knockout. He's a minus 285 favorite versus Gerald Meerschaert is the underdog at plus 240. Remember, he had 3 knockouts, TKOs, before his loss, which he lost by decision. And then Meerschaert had 3 wins by submission, and then he lost to Jocko. And guys, I also want you to tune in next week, August 16. We have our own Nazim Siddiqov, the Black Wolf. He's fighting on Dana White's Contender Series at the UFC Apex. He's a lightweight fighter. He is 6-1. He is fighting at a low MMA. He has the best corner. He has Ray Longo. He has Matt the Steamroller Favola in his corner. He's coming to Vegas and he's coming to get that contract. Notorious Radio fully supports Nazim on his next fight on Tuesday. Please tune in. And before I go, guys, always remember to like us, follow us, subscribe us. Tune in with us on all platforms. We love you. Your host, again, Mitchell from Notorious Radio 718. Follow us on YouTube. This is Fight Pass with Mitch, and we'll see you soon.